Hello, and welcome back to week 5 of Development Research and Practice. During this week, we will discuss chapter 5 of the handbook, Cleaning and Processing Research Data. My name is Luisa Andrade. I am a junior data scientist at DIME, and I will be your instructor for this week and the next. Processing data is the most time-consuming step in data work. A 2016 report by Crowdflower found that data scientists spent on average 20% of their time acquiring data, 60% cleaning and organizing it, and only 20% of their time was spent on data analysis. Development research follows a similar pattern, with potentially more time being spent on data acquisition relative to other tasks when a project collects primary data. Unlike data scientists, however, most development researchers are not trained in how to prepare data. This often results in an ad hoc approach to processing data, causing inefficiencies in the best case scenario, possibly preventing reproducibility, and in the worst case, allowing for mistakes to go unnoticed. This chapter will take you through a structured workflow for preparing newly acquired data, so you have a clear understanding of what needs to be done and at which point in your project. This workflow will allow you to conduct your research in an efficient, transparent, and reproducible manner. During the course of your project, you will inevitably find problems in your data and mistakes in your code. You will have to go back to earlier steps of the data work process to make adjustments. In our experience, following the steps outlined in this chapter will help your team reduce the number of mistakes that are made, while also making it easier to identify problems in the data and the code and fixing them when necessary. By sharing the protocols we've developed based on the lessons learned from past DIME projects and other fields of knowledge, we hope to spare you from learning about the importance of data cleaning and processing after having your research results compromised by the lack of a systematic approach to handling data. Although all the data processing tasks described in this chapter may be implemented at the same time, we think of them as 4 separate tasks. The first one is called tidying and consists in separating the units of observation into different data sets. Of all the concepts explored in this chapter, this one is probably the least known in our field, so make sure to read this section carefully. The second step is monitoring data quality to identify potential issues in the data as soon as it is acquired and while your team has time to address them. The third step is de-identification, which means removing any confidential information from your clean data set. That means that if you acquired any confidential information, you should be working on a secure environment until this point. Finally, we have what is probably the most widespread concept of data cleaning among development researchers, which is exploring, recoding, and labeling the data. We will discuss more details about each of these steps during the lecture on Thursday. As you read through this chapter, keep in mind that what we define as data cleaning here means transforming the original dataset into an appropriate format for the intended use, that is, shaping it into information that can be accessed by statistical software to conduct quantitative analysis. In this definition, no content changes are made to the data. So the output of this process, the clean dataset, contains the same information as the original dataset, but in a more user-friendly format. Creating analysis indicators from this data is the first step of data analysis and will be described in Chapter 6. When it comes to dividing responsibilities inside the research team, the principal investigator will provide key research input. This includes determining the unit of observations, indicating priorities for data quality check, providing guidance on how to resolve issues found in the data, and publishing or archiving the prepared dataset. The research assistant, on the other hand, will develop code, data, and documentation linking the datasets with the data map and study design. This includes tidying the datasets, managing data quality checks, exploring the data and communicating any issues found to the rest of the research team, and preparing the dataset for publication. The required reading for this week is, of course, Chapter 5 of Development Research and Practice. We also ask you to read the following DimeWiki articles related to concepts that are treated on this chapter: de-identification, ID variable properties, IE field kit, high-frequency checks, data cleaning, data documentation, and unit of observation. For more hands-on material on the topics of this chapter, we recommend that you take a look at our Manage Successful Impact Evaluation Surveys course and our DIME Research Assistant onboarding course. To better understand the concept of tidy data, I recommend that you read Hadley Wickham's article on the Journal of Statistical Software. About IE Field Kit, you can also see our article published on the Stata Journal. There's also a blog post on the World Bank data blog that compares primary and non-traditional data sources when it comes to data quality checks. Finally, the Statistical Disclosure Control Practice Guide will give you more details about how to de-identify your data sets and handle confidential information. Thank you, and I will see you all on Thursday.